Greetings, gamers! Salutations, this is D-Vang. Welcome to Shadows of Brimstone. This is the Apple Turnover Gang. Again, so we were down in the mines. We had an interesting time last time in the mines. They were captured. And that was mission number 2. This is mission number 3 of the Order of the Crimson Hand mission pack book. Race for the Relics. Performing dark and occult rituals in the old abandoned mines up in the hills nearby, the Order of the Crimson Hand has opened up gateways across space and time in order to seek out ancient and powerful relics from distant alien worlds and eldritch dimensions beyond the void. If they get their hands on these alien artifacts, there is no telling what evil they could summon to aid them in their endless quest for arcane knowledge and power. So, as you can see, the mission starts out with the mine entrance map tile leading directly to a cross passage. And I completely forgot. Hold on. Aha, there we go. Notice something different, do you? So, each one ends in a gate, as you can see. We removed a cross-passage map card from the map deck. We have 3 Crimson Hand markers, dun dun dun, on the depth track at 11, 6, and the darkness start. We also have ancient relic tokens, which were randomly placed above each section of the depth track, each stage. The goal, the heroes are racing against the Crimson Hand to locate and recover 3 different relics from across space and time. And has ventured through the stable gateways that the Crimson Hand have conjured to find each relic in a different world before the Crimson Hand gets there first. Special rules, this is a theme of a Crimson Hand adventure. So what that goes with is, ta-da, Crimson Hand adventure, for those who don't remember. So whenever the hero draws 1 or more encounters, even in another world, it's a D6. On a 1, 2, or 3, they must also draw a Crimson Hand encounter. Those are the encounter cards. Common enemies Crimson Hand. Whenever a threat card is drawn, including in the other world, the hero, you roll a D6 on a 1, 2, or 3. Instead, the heroes are attacked by Crimson Hand. We have 3 or 4 heroes, so it's going to be 2 peril dice worth of Crimson Hand. And whenever the Crimson Hand enemies are encountered, roll a D6. On a 1, 2, or 3, they get a trait card. Let's try to remember the trait card for them as well. Okay. Fixed hold back the darkness roll is an 8+. So all holding back the darkness rolls are 8+. Immediate dread. So that for this mission, growing dread cards are revealed immediately. No additional gates, so for this mission, all gates, other than the ones that start on the board, count as doors. Race across 3 worlds. The hero posse marker is not used on the depth track for this adventure. Each of the 3 Crimson Hand markers on the depth track represents a group of Crimson Hand cultists that are hunting for a relic in one of the worlds. And each stage of the depth track represents one of those worlds. The first stage, with the mine entrance space, represents the world through the left-facing gate. Okay, so the middle, that would be that one. All right, where was I? The middle stage represents the world through the center, and the last stage, with the darkness start space. Oh, actually, sorry. The mine entrance space, represents the one on the right. Makes sense. Whenever the hold back the darkness roll is failed during this adventure, not including depth events, select 1 random Crimson Hand marker currently on the depth track to move forward 1 space, as the cultists get ever closer to one of the relics. If a Crimson Hand marker ever reaches the last space within its stage, they've collected the relic and escaped. Remove that marker and place it on the relic. Blood spatter and growing dread spaces on the depth track are triggered as normal when a Crimson Hand marker moves onto them. Interesting. Gaining on the Crimson Hand. Oh, sorry. Arcane Knowledge of the Order. Anytime something would move the darkness marker a space forward on the depth track, instead select one random Crimson Hand marker currently on the depth track to move forward one space. So we'll roll a d6, 1, 2 being the left, 3, 4 being the center, and 5, 6 being the right. Gaining on the Crimson Hand. Whenever a clue icon is found, the heroes may choose one of the Crimson Hand markers on the depth track and move it back one space, although it cannot move below the first space in the stage. This backward movement does not trigger blood spatter and growing dread spaces. Okay, objectives. Heroes find a relic. To find the relic in one of the worlds, the heroes must find and resolve 3 exploration tokens through that gate. So the third room. Well, yeah, third room. And defeat all enemies currently in that world. When this occurs, remove the Crimson Hand marker from the corresponding world stage on the depth track and collect the ancient artifact marker. Only one relic can be found in each world. If the Crimson Hand collect a relic, reaching the last space on the stage in the depth track, and having their marker placed on the relic may no longer be recovered by the heroes. It is lost to the Crimson Hand. When the Crimson Hand collect a relic, immediately draw D3 growing dread cards, and those obviously immediately get resolved as well. Once all 3 relics have been collected by any mix of hero or Crimson Hand, the mission is complete. If the heroes collected more relics than the Crimson Hand, they are successful. If the Crimson Hand collected more relics than the heroes, the mission has failed. As a reward for success, 25 experience, D6 times $100, and if the heroes collected all 3 relics, each hero also gets to draw a mine artifact. If they fail, each hero takes D6 corruption hits. If the Crimson Hand collected all 3 relics, each hero must also discard their highest value artifact card. They get to choose if there is a tie. They have an even number, essentially, or highest even tie for value. If all heroes are KO'd or flee, assume the Crimson Hand collected all remaining artifacts. So, we can collect 2 and flee and still count as winning. Right? No, it's still a failure. But they don't count as having collected three artifacts. So as long as the heroes collect at least 1, then the extra discarding of artifacts doesn't take place because they haven't collected all 3 artifacts. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so let's get a boogie on. All right, so everybody actually has +1 movement. Doc now has the tail that gives him +1 movement. We've got the cavalry boots on Pete. And Bechamel has a skill, her honor roll, that gives her +1 move as well. So we're all D6 +1 for movement. So we'll hold back the darkness. We're going to do that with the Void Lantern. And get a couple things straightened out here. Everybody has 1 grit. Bechamel has her fortune. Alright, so holding back the darkness is a 7, which is a failure. So that will move a random 1 up by 1. And that will move the middle one up by 1 from 6 to 7. That does not bode well. Alright, Bechamel to move. Alright, well, so she moves 2 and gets a grit. I guess we'll go ahead and take that. Pete can move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Doc can move 4. 1, 2, 3. He'll actually hang out there. So let's hold back the darkness again. A 10 is good. We roll the move again. Bechamel can move 4. So she'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Pete can move 5. I guess I'm going to go well, it's the center one that moved first, so we're going to head towards the center one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It may not necessarily matter. And Doc can move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, let's hold back the darkness again. 11 is good. So Bechamel can move 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, good. So she can look through and see what's there. Okay, and it is Targa Plateau. And the room is a simple ancient street. Alright. Let's go ahead and shift this over for now. Sure you guys can see that. You will need to see them if you can, for the moment anyway. Perfect. Alright, so that's what we see. I'll move stuff a little bit better once we get into it. But that is what we see. And we get an exploration token. Alright. Pete can move 3. So Pete will go ahead and go 1, 2, 3. And then Doc gets to move 2. So 1, 2. And he will gain a grit. And let's see what's in there. Alright, so there are 3 exits and an encounter. Awesome. Alright, so we need to roll to see if there is also a Crimson Hand encounter. D6, 1, 2, or 3. There is not, so it's simply an Otherworld encounter. And we have a scream beyond time. An alien scream of agony and fear echoes through your mind as you stagger backwards, clutching your head. Visions of the doom that came to Targa flashing before your eyes. Everybody makes a Spirit 4+ test. Oh joy, since we have such great Spirit. Gain 10 experience for every 4+ rolled. If failed, take a D6 horror hits. Then a random hero makes a lore test. For each 5+ rolled, you can choose a darkness, encounter, or growing dread card currently in play and discard it. Alright, well that second part is useless because we haven't any. But Spirit 4+ roll. Alright, Bechamel has 1 Spirit. She fails, so she's going to take a D6 horror hits, so she takes 4 horror hits. She blocks all of them, though. Doc has a 3 Spirit. He succeeds once anyway, so that's going to be 10 experience. And then Pete has a single Spirit, and he succeeds. Alright, well that was not too horrible, and that was our first one. So let's hold back the darkness. A 10 is good. So we will go ahead and move with Bechamel. Okay, so Bechamel is going to move. Big move. Doesn't really matter which direction we go. I might as well... let's go ahead and loop around. So Bechamel will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she will look through and see what we see. We get a short passage. Okay. It's unfortunate since this is kind of a race against time. Alright. And then Pete gets to go. You know what? It might be worthwhile choosing a different passage. Let's see how far Pete can go. Pete can go 6. Can he get over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. So he's going to go this way. Now it's going to kind of go off the edge. And then he will look through. And we find the furnace room. Alright. So my meat is getting a little bit convoluted for the moment, but we will make it work. I know they're gonna miss a bit. There's Bechamel up there. She'll be heading back down. We're gonna obviously see what's in this room, and then Doc gets to move 1. which he does count as being in Targa. So that's going to be the unfortunate thing, where he's going to take a wound for being in Targa. And then, but he does get a third grit. The question is, should he move? You know what? He's actually going to use that to move. He needs to get up with Pete in case. So that's going to be 2 more. So that's a total of 4. So he can go 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So let's see what's going on here. We have 1 exit and 2 encounters. All right. So the exit is to the left. Okay. Put a thing there. Put a thing there. Kind of off. Bechamel, you must come. Join the others. There we go. There you go. Just kind of slant it a little bit. See where she is. Perfect. All right. And then 2 encounters. So we have 2 target encounters, and then we have to roll to see if we also have a Crimson Hand encounter, which we do. Alright, let's see what we get here. So we start with a sealed chamber along one of the walls of the room. A massive metal door is sealed, large black hoses connected to machinery and a console. What were they trying to keep in there? Select a random exit from this room, and place an end cap there and a marker that represents the massive door. Somebody can use cunning on the door to open it. Success will gain 40, and a massive door opens. Draw a map card and replace the end cap, or leave it sealed. You know what? We can leave it sealed, I think. No need to do that because we've already got, you know. Actually, I guess technically, random exit from this room. So I guess technically we have to. This has to be, because there's only 1 actual exit. It's not, those are already end capped. So technically it's got to be that one. So that is sealed with a door. So we're gonna have to do that. You know what? We may just run back to there. I mean, honestly, nothing actually happens other than you get 2 exploration tokens. So, which, given we've gotten 2 encounters already, it's more than likely going to be an attack, I think. All right, and then we have the Forbidden Passage. An eerie passage leads away from this room. It's cold and dark, and chills run down. This room has an extra door. In addition to those, reveal cards from the top of the deck until you found 3 passages, then attach these passages in a continuous chain in order to the extra door. Anytime the hero ends a move on one of these map tiles, they get a corruption hit. And you get extra loot if you go down that way. Alright. We'll go ahead and put it down here. I'm not even going to bother going there, so we won't worry about that. Alright, so those were kind of nothing encounters. And then the Crimson Hand encounter is buried in the rock. On one end of the chamber, it looks as if someone has been digging into the wall. Tools and rocks litter the floor, and a strange object rests half buried in the stone. Dust still hangs in the air, and torches burn on the ground. Someone was just here digging this out. So Crimson Hand was digging for the artifact, maybe. For each hero on this map tile, each hero on this map tile may make the following test once when this card is revealed, and may then give up their move to make the test again in future turns. Well, right now only Pete is there, but he is also the person with the highest strength. For each 6 rolled, place a marker here. Once there are twice as many markers here as there are heroes in the posse, so 6. We've dug them out, draw an artifact. While there are any heroes on this map tile, the next time them hold back the darkness roll is failed, including depth events, so doubles. Then we're ambushed by the Crimson Hand. So, do we risk Well, we might as well. He might as well. We're stuck at least one turn, right? Pete's already there on it. And I believe he is only 5 strength now. Is that correct? No, he's only 4 strength. All right, no, I think that is correct. He started out with strength 3, got a +1 on a level up, and must have lost his other plus strength items. So he's only got a 4 dice for strength, which is unfortunate, but that is fine. Ooh, he failed that pretty horribly. It's not a big deal. I don't think we're going to worry about that then. Having an extra artifact is nice, but you know, obviously we're on a time crunch, so hanging around getting attacked by Crimson Hand is not my idea of fun. So we do need to hold back the darkness. Alright. An 8 is good and does not trigger an ambush attack, so we need to get off of that map tile. So Bechamel rolls to move. She gets a big 6. Good. So she is going to race over here and look through. I'm going to tilt this kind of back this way since we know we're kind of going this way. Right? Yep. In fact, I'll even kind of turn it that way for you all. Okay, and we have the Ruined Lift. Alright, that attaches right there. We'll get a token on it, like so. Alright. Pete gets to move 4. So he will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Doc gets to move, if I could roll it in the box. He gets to move 4 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's up here next to Bechamel. Alright, and let's see what we get. We get 1 exit and an attack. So this is where the relic is, which is very nice and convenient. We are attacked. Let's see if we're attacked by Crimson Hand. And there's 1 exit. So we need to block off 2 of these. So the direction that the exit is to the right. So that will work. Alright, do we have Crimson Hand? We do. We have Crimson Hand enemies. It's going to be 2 peril dice. So we have 7 Crimson Hand in here. So they are going after that effect. In fact, actually, do we have... Let me just double check here. When we find a relic... yeah, so it doesn't, it does not, unlike, you know, most of the time when you find sort of your objective, it doesn't completely close off all the exits, but it doesn't make a huge difference anyway. Alright, so we had 7 Crimson Hand, and do they have an elite, or an ability? They do, or a trait? They do not. We do need to remember to roll for their elite ability, which will be 1, Long Live the Order, Shy High. Order of the Crimson Hand now have Endurance 2 instead. No more than 2 wounds per hit. So, 2 wounds per hit. Remember, they have a Cult Rifle. They're Zealots, so they get +1 damage on all their combat hits for each wound it has on it. So now it has Endurance 2, which means you can't one-shot them. It's going to require at least 2 hits each. Oh, and we do have to do the Sacred Artifact. So, start of the fight. Might as well do this now before we forget it. Draw an artifact card for this enemy group. Each Crimson Hand gains +1 health for every full $100 of value. So, we draw a target artifact. And we get... Ooh, an Accentuator Belt. So it is 350. So 3, they are all +3 health. So we will need to remember that. And they are Endurance 2. Okay, with 2 defense. Alright, so let's get these folks placed here. we go. Alright. Let's hold back the darkness. Double fours. Double fours, I believe, is... Oh, it's... but this is in Targa, which is a blizzard. Well, in the Targa Plateau, a hero takes 1 automatic hit at the start of each turn. Okay. That's going to suck. Alright. But we are technically, I think... Are we technically past the start of the turn? I guess we're still in the start of turn effects stage. So everybody takes a hit. So Bechamel takes a hit for the blizzard. She's fine. Doc is fine. And Pete takes a wound. Alright. Well, that was holding back the darkness. Now, they are initiative 3, so we get to go first. So we will start with Bechamel. She rolls to move. Alright, she has a big move. She does need to get within range 4 of at least 2 of them. So she will move 1 up. And that puts her within range of 2 of them. Actually, I guess she already was kind of within range of 2 of them, but I think that's fine. And then she is going to attack. Alright. So she shoots. So she gets 1 critical, 1 non-critical. Good. She hits anyway. So the critical hit will do a minimum of 2 wounds to him. Fair enough. And then puts a stun effect from the breaching gun. Now the question's going to be... Do I try to bump up the hits? You know what? No. She's going to hit this guy. Let's see what the damage is. So 3 minus 2 is 1 wound. You know, I completely forgot. Did we get Darkstone bullets? I believe we did. I've got the card here, but I don't remember if I actually did that. No, we didn't go to a blacksmith last town, did we? No, we did not. I don't think we had a blacksmith. So, alright. So we'll just say it's 1. Let's go with Doc. So Doc rolls to move. He gets a 3 plus 1 is 4. So how many can he get adjacent to? 1, 2, 3. He wants to move a little bit closer. Let's see if he can escape them. Actually, wait. He automatically escapes. My bad. Boom. All right. So 3, 6 for his cunning. 7, 8. 1 for the tools of science. Grip, and 1 extra 1 for the feathered hatchet. He has 2 free rerolls, or he can spend a grit if necessary. Blah. That was pretty bad. Question is, do I re-roll those 4s? Try to get some critical hits. No, I guess I'd rather have actual hits. So he will spend a grit to re-roll these 4 dice. He only gets 2 more hits and 1 more critical. So he missed once. Alright. So the critical hit, we're going to go ahead and put on this guy here to give him 2 more wounds. So they have a total of 3 6 wounds, right? Yep. So 2 4. So he needs simply needs to get 2 more wounds. All right. So we are a D6 plus 1, and we are minus 2 for their defense. So essentially minus 1 on the die. So that will give us our 2 and allow him to kill this guy. Ooh, he's only -1 because of the stunned marker. Alright. So that will give us the -1. Doesn't make a difference, right? But that allows Doc, he kills an enemy, he can potentially recover a grit on a 4+, and he does. Well, that doesn't normally work for us, does it? Perfect. Alright, so Doc is going to need at least 3 hits, right? 2, 4, and then 1 or 2 for the last one. So, let's go with 3 hits. Oh, and this guy was stunned because he did take a wound from Bechamel. So he is only -1 defense. So we're actually straight up. So what we need is 2s or better on these. Can we get 2s or better? We cannot. But we can't, sorry, with 3 hits because we already have 1 wound. So 2 wounds, 2 wounds, and 1 wound is 5, and 1 is 6. And that will kill him as well. Perfect. Alright. That leaves us with 2 more hits that he can put on that fellow. We are actually technically -1 on each die. And so 1 die will do 2 wounds. The other one will do nada. And that's not worth re-rolling that. Even, say, using the Bechamel's fortune points. Alright. So we're on to Pete. So Pete has a big move. Not that he really needs it. But he will move in here. He's going to throw his lasso at this guy. And then he's going to shoot. He's dual wielding. So because of his duelist gun belt, he's got 8 dice. He does take a corruption hit, so let's defend against that corruption, and he does. Perfect. So again, red are going to be the Fallen Gunfighter's pistol. White are going to be the Tredaran pistol. That's because the Tredaran pistol has +1 damage to all its hits. And the Fallen Gunfighter's pistol, he can add +2 damage to one of the hits on that gun if necessary. So, rolls to hit. So he gets 3, 4, 5 hits. He will spend his grit. Let's try to get rid of some of these because he doesn't have anything. So, nice. 3 more hits. Perfect. Alright. So, we're going to do at least 2 on him. Because, again, we want to try to minimize them. So, we are minus... the dice will matter. Alright. Let's roll 2 of the Tredaran. Because they get the +1 damage. And that will mean we're even up. So we need 2 or better to kill. Alright, so nice. That will kill him. Oh, and Pete lassoed somebody, so he has a chance to get a grit on a 4+. He fails. Okay. So, that's all we need there. Alright. So what else can Pete do? Pete's gonna spend, again, we'll do the 2 Tredaran and 1 additional, because remember we're gonna need a minimum of 3, right, hits to kill anybody. So 3 dice for damage on this fellow. Alright, so that will be that will just be 2 points. The other 2, he has no grit. We could theoretically add 2 points of damage, but it won't matter because he's technically, -1, right, or -2. So that would put us at a -1. So that would waste it. So let's do again. We're just gonna need 2 hits to try to kill him. So let's try these 2 hits. Ooh, that is unfortunate. So that will do nothing. I will take the wounds and do the 2 hits with this one. Or the 2 wounds. So he takes 3 wounds in order to do 2 wounds to him. And then we got 1 hit left. Alright, Bechamel that was just horrible. She's going to spend a fortune to let Pete re-roll that. Because he needs a 3 to do 1 point of damage. 4 to do 2, and 4 or better will kill him. So 50% chance. Oh boy, that was some crappy damage rolling from Pete. I mean, that was just pathetic. All right, but that is their turn. So we do go to the Crimson Hand. So the Crimson Hand get to shoot first. So there are 4 shots. There's going to be 1 on each person. So who gets the extra? That will be Pete. Okay. So 1 on Bechamel is a hit. They hit on 4+. Does 5 points of damage. So Bechamel attempts to defend against it, and she fails. She will spend a grit. No, she'll just take the 5 points of damage. Okay. Second one on Doc is a hit. Doc rolls for defense, and he takes the 5 points of damage. No, he has armor, so he has 5 dice, 5+ on his armor. He blocks 2 of them, so he's actually only going to take 3 points of damage. Okay. And then 2 shots at Pete. 1 of which hits. And Pete manages to dodge it. Okay. So then, and they move a total of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, we would do something like that. Because they can move, we'll say the extra one was that one that was shooting at Pete. Alright. So, melee, 5+, they have 2 dice hitting on 3s. So 2 dice on Bechamel. Miss. 2 dice on Pete. 2 hits. Okay, so Pete attempts to dodge, and he fails both. So that's going to be 6 wounds. Okay. And then 2 dice on Doc. 1 hit. Doc rolls his defense. He fails. So that is 3. And his armor saves 2 of them. He takes 1 more wound. Alright. So let's hold back the darkness. A 10 is good. Bechamel rolls to move. Oh, sorry. Hits for the blizzard. Hit on Bechamel, she saves. Hit on Doc, he saves. Hit on Pete, he does not. So he takes 1 wound. Alright. Alright, so Bechamel rolling to move. She gets a 1, so she suffers a hit, a wound. She does get a grit. She doesn't have a grit, though. Or I should say she's maxed out. So, rolling to hit. So there is a hit that's a critical. She'd get her free reroll. That's a hit that is not a critical. So she'll go ahead and critically hit, I guess, the one back here that's behind her. And that will do the minimum or maximum of 2 damage. Okay, and the second one might as well hit that one just to make things a little bit easier. And that will indeed do the same. Put a stun and do 2 wounds. And that is her turn. You can see how she's kind of struggling compared to the other two by sheer number of dice. Let's start with... we'll go ahead and let Doc go. And Doc will move here. And then attack. And we'll let Pete try to clean up the other two, if possible. Doc should be able to do that since he has a fair amount of grit. And he will indeed spend one to reroll these 4 dice. Alright, well, an extra critical is never bad. Okay. So he'll spend one of the criticals to kill this guy. Because that guy already had 4 wounds, just needed the 2 more. So then the other critical goes to this guy, the only other one he's adjacent to. Alright, and then 4 dice. Trying to... Oh, and he is stunned, so he has -1 defense. So we're even up. So as long as... oh, sorry, they are a 2. Am I misremembering their... No, we're even up on the dice, right? Because he's stunned and he's a +1 damage. So, so in other words, there's a minimum of 4 wounds going to him from 4 hits, and that will kill him. That does allow Doc to conceivably get another grit, and he does. So he regains his grit back. Awesome sauce. And then that leaves Pete. So Pete rolls a 2 to move. Oh, that is a grit, is it not? Is that not in Targa? Nice. And then he is going to shoot. And again, he is going to dual wield. He will take the corruption hit. And he does not save it, so he gets a point of corruption. I think I do need to change out that gun, as nice as it is having the +1 damage. Without that sort of corruption armor, since that was one of the items that we lost. Yeah, the corruption very well could increase quite a bit. Alright, so that is kind of sad. So I guess he will spend a grit. The grit he just got to re-roll these. And that is much better. Now, unfortunately, these are not criticals, but they are hits. So let's hit the one on Bechamel first. Need at least 2. And we will roll the Tredaran pistols. Okay, so this one won't do anything. No, actually, this one does do 1 point of damage, because remember the Tredaran pistols +1. The stun reduced them down to 1 defense, so they cancel each other out. So that actually does do 1 point of damage, and then 2. Not that that helps immensely. Okay, we'll go ahead and use the last Tredaran on that one. Oh, and that will automatically allow him to kill that one. And you know, I think I forgot to roll for his lasso. Although technically he didn't get shot, so I could have lassoed just as he was getting ready to move, which would be after the start of his turn. So still good for that. All right, and then these 4. Okay, is it worth? Probably not. Actually, this one I can use to take the 3 wounds to do 2 more points of damage, which will be, so that's a 4 minus 2 for the defense is 2, and then each of those is 2, so 2, 4, 6, and that will finish him off. I think we will do that. Hooray! Nice. So we get to catch our breath. So Bechamel gets 2 and she gets her fortune back. So she's going to take off 2 wounds. Doc gets 3. Okay, and then Pete gets to recover 1. Doc will actually spend a bandage to heal Pete. D6 plus 3 is 8, which is nice. Puts Pete down to 5 wounds. He did take quite a bit, although granted 6 of that was from the gun, from the Fallen Gunfighter's pistol, which, you know, it would be nice to get him some armor, then he can actually save against that. Oh, and now we have, guess what? Our favorite time. It is loot time. So we get 1 loot card, and we also gain... Oh, sorry. So we killed them, so we have to roll we get to roll a 5+ to see if Pete can obtain the Accentuator belt, which actually would be super handy for Bechamel with her low strength. So 5+. Does she spend a fortune and try to get 3 bumps on it, or she spends a fortune? You know what? She will spend a fortune to let Pete re-roll that. I mean, granted, it's still only a 1/3 chance, but that's going to be better odds than trying to spend the fortune to get 3 5+ on 5 dice. So, yes, score. All right, and then in fact we will give that to Bechamel so she can carry 2 extra anvils. So we're less concerned about her and the weight. Oh, sorry. Now loot cards. As we were saying, we get loot cards. So Bechamel gets 1 dark stone. Okay. Doc gets a gear card. And Pete gets an artifact. Alright, so hold on for a minute. Alright, so the gear card is a straight razor. Once per turn, you may take a corruption hit on yourself to ignore a target's defense for one of your combat hits. Outlaw or performer only, and it is a one-handed weapon, so unlikely to be used, being a melee weapon. And then we find, for the artifact, some void crystals. Discard, except during a fight, to replace 1 unexplored door on your map tile with a gate instead. You all know how gates go for me. In normal, you know, keeping track of the other world is just a pain when I'm trying to do this by myself. So I don't normally worry about gates or deal with gates. So that's sell fodder. But we do need money. Again, we do. So selling for $100, that's $100. Perfect. So let's hold back the darkness. We can get rid of this. An 8 is good. Still surviving. We need to get out of Targa. We do take hits, so Bechamel saves. Doc does not, so he's going to take a wound. Pete saves. Bechamel rolls to move. She gets a 5. We'll go +1 is 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, Doc will move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Pete can move 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Hold back the darkness. Double 4s. That is a blizzard again. Does that mean 2 hits? Probably. I mean, it doesn't say. Unlike all the other like depth events, that's normally just a single turn. This just says, while in Targa, a hero takes 1 automatic hit. So let's say that's 2 automatic hits at the start of the turn as the blizzard gets worse. So good thing we are leaving. But that was holding back the darkness. So Bechamel rolls to move. She gets a 2 + 1. In fact, I can get rid of some of these since we know we do not need them. give ourselves a little bit of room here. These fancy schmancy encounters go away. All right, so Bechamel gets to go 3. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, you know what? I just said they have to roll their 2 hits. So Bechamel takes 2 wounds. Doc takes 1 wound. And Pete takes 1 wound. Ooh, Doc gets his armor. Nope. Alright. Doc, oops, into the box would be nice. Ooh, he gets a big 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure, 5, 6, 7. You know what, we might as well look through. So that world is Jargano. So hold on. Okay, and it is the Tribal Fountain. Alright. See if I can see if I can swing this. Nobody's actually going in yet, so that is fine. It'll be another turn, so I won't worry too much about it. That was Pete or Doc, and now Pete is trying to catch up. So he's going to take a wound. He gets a grit. He's going to use that to move additionally. So a 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So hold back the darkness. A 7 will fail. That will be the second time. That gives us the middle one again, and that triggers a darkness card. Oh, actually, wait. Wait a minute. We picked that up. We get rid of that that one because we did the middle. Oh yeah, and we found the relic. Yep. So yeah, they are gone. So we actually don't have to deal with that one moving up. So actually, it should probably be 50-50, right? So we'll say the one on the left moves at this point. No free passes. All right. Bechamel rolls to move. Ooh, she gets a 1. All right. Well, she moves 1. She gets a grit. Oh, start of the turn. Pete takes 2 hits from the blizzard. Remember that. So he blocked 1, so he takes 1 more wound. Doc's not moving, so Pete, although Doc can roll for a grit, so but Pete moves 4 plus 1 is 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Doc rolls a 1 for move. So cool, he gets a 3rd grit there. All right, so we are done with this. I can move this out of our way. Boom. And then we'll move this back up here where it belongs, so we know that this is where we are going. Kind of move it in for you here, folks, a little bit. So let's hold back the darkness. We'll move in next turn. 10 is good. Bechamel rolls to move. She gets a movement of 3, huh? So 1, 2, 3. That is just enough to get her in. There. Pete is going to move. He gets a big 6. He's just going to actually move there. And then Doc will go ahead and move there. So now we have to remember for the Swamps of Jargano that any attack is an ambush on a 1, 2, or 3, but we get +2 on all our rolls to catch our breath. So that'll be handy. So what do we have? Exploration token. We have a clue icon, 2 exits, and an attack. So which direction is not the exit? To the left. So we'll snip that off. We are attacked. Let's see. Let's see if it was a Crimson Hand. It is not. It is an Otherworld enemy. And we will see what that is. And it is Swamp Slashers. So we get D3 Swamp Slashers. So they have flirting tongues. They choose their target based on who has the most Darkstone on them, which is nobody because it's all in the tomb chest. So they will just determine normally. But they do have a lunge, so a move of 8, which is going to be the difference. And what else? There was something else that I needed to do. Oh, I know. I need to get the bottle and the card. Hold on. Okay. Now, what is the elite ability for the Slashers? It is a 1. They are +2 initiative. So they are initiative 6, which is certainly unfortunate. Oh, yes, and I need to see how many Slashers that there are. So that is going to be a D3. So there are 2 Slashers, of the swampy variety. Now they are Slashers, so they do count for Doc. Doc has run into Slashers before. I have them on my list. So there we go. We got 2 green swamp slashers. And they are initiative 6. They are actually going to go first. Because of that +2 initiative. Otherwise, Bechamel would have gotten some shots first. Alright. Well, so here's the Hold Back the Darkness roll. Oh, but we do need to see if they were in ambush. That was what I was forgetting. 1, 2, or 3, they are in ambush. They are not in ambush. It doesn't make a huge difference. But I guess they could pop out behind us in the other world. So let's hold back the darkness. A 10 is good. Which 2 folks are getting it? First is Doc, and the second one is Pete. So, easy enough. 1 goes there. 1 goes there. Alright, so let's attack Doc here. 2 dice, hitting on 3s. So 2 hits. And then Doc will try to block or dodge them. He fails. He has a 3+ or 4+ to dodge them. He fails both. You know what? Given that they do a D6 damage each, I will go ahead and spend a grit to reroll these. And that does block 1 of them. So the other one's going to do a D6 points of damage. 6. The big 6. Alright, so you do have armor though. Which, oh my goodness, look at that. Blocks all 6 points of damage. And Doc skates. Alright, and then on Pete, 2 dice hitting on 3s. So 2 hits. Pete will attempt to dodge them, and he dodges them both. We are being fortunate so far. I probably just jinxed it though. Alright. So, now they do have fear 2. So, Bechamel, 2 horror hits. She saves them both. She's going to roll the move. She gets a 1. She's already maxed up on grit, so that won't help. But then she will shoot. Now this is one of the times where her having the breaching gun is going to be useful. And so with that new accentuator belt, where she can carry more, she actually could carry the breaching gun and 2 pistols. Because basically that accentuator belt lets her carry 2 pistols for free. And so now she has the option of doing lots of dice or using the breaching gun when it becomes super important or super useful. So for example, they have a 4 defense and 6 health. So obviously being able to critical better with the shotgun, the D8s, is going to be extremely useful. She also gets the extra +1 damage when she criticals, and they just in general do more damage to overcome. Alright, enough of that. Bechamel rolling to hit. She gets 1 critical with an 8. She will use her free reroll on that. That is a 5. That is not a critical, which is unfortunate, but still a decent hit. So she's going to hit, she has to hit the one that's next to her. So we'll put the critical on the one that's next to her. So let's see how much damage that is. That is a 5 + 1 is 6. So that is actually enough to kill this guy all on her own, which is surprising. She normally doesn't kill too many things on her turn. She gets to recover a fortune token, which she was down by 1 whenever she kills an enemy. What else? Oh, and then she's got her non-critical. Well, I keep moving that. Sorry. She has her non-critical that she can use at the other one, which unfortunately only does 3 and won't get through the armor. You know what? She's going to spend a fortune point to re-roll it. Yeah. Let's re-roll it. Let's re-roll that damage. A 6. Much better. So that does 2 points, 2 wounds, and puts the stunned effect, which gives him -1. Probably didn't need to. I think Doc can probably kill him. But I did it anyway, just because I wanted Bechamel to be able to, you know, do a little bit more there, right? So who wants to go next? Pete is lower on. He's got, obviously he's hurt more. He is also doesn't have any grit. So let's go have Doc go. Doc does get a grit for that as well. And then he will swing with his just ridiculous amount of dice. Ooh. And he doesn't get any criticals, and he only hits 3 times. I guess he's spending one of his 3 grit to re-roll all of these. And that wasn't much better. Alright, still no criticals. He does have 5 hits. Alright, so 5 hits. We are +1 damage. And then the stunned. So with a defensive 4, that's essentially -2 on each die. So that is good enough. These, so -2, that's going to be 4. So just one of those will be enough to kill this slasher. Boom. All right. Handy dandy. All right, and that does allow Pete to catch his breath, and he will take a grit. He will take a grit, and I think Doc will go ahead and use a bandage on Pete. No, do use another bandage. Pete is at 8 wounds. No, and that heals 9, of course. That's fine. That is fine. Oh, except, oh yeah, because Pete took the grit instead of the catching his breath healing. Bechamel does get her fortune back and can recover a D3. Sorry. Yeah, so she gets 3 back. Remember, we are +2 to the roll, so most likely getting 3. Doc can recover 2, which is fine. He is down to 2 wounds as it is at this point. Nice. All right. Room 1 down. Let's hold back the darkness. Why am I rolling D8s? I don't know. I am just silly. I will take that 11, right? A 10. A 10 is good. So Bechamel rolled a move. Oh, we got. Oh, I forgot we loot. Wait a minute. We have loot. All right, this is Bechamel's move. We can keep that. But we do need to score some loot. So we have Bechamel, and she gets a D3 Dark Stone. And which will make it 1 piece of Darkstone. 1 more for the tomb chest. Doc gets a D6 times 50 bucks. Okay, nice. So 300. And then Pete gets another artifact. Pete has gotten pretty lucky. All right, hold on. Let's find a Gargano artifact. And we find the Darkstone Club. +1 combat. Use a grit to add +2 damage to one of your combat hits. Don't really need it. We've got better in the Feathered Hatchet and the Tools of Science. But it sells for $525. So, you know, I will take that. Alright, so Bechamel gets to move a total of 4. So she'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then look through, and we find the nest. Alright. Put this down here. Okay, you guys can see alright. Yeah, okay, that's still in there. In fact, I can even probably zoom in just a smidgen for you guys. Alright, that was Bechamel. So Pete gets to move a total of 3, so he'll go 1, 1, 2. Ooh, those are not working, so 3, he goes there, and then Doc, you just go sit there. Alright, ooh, and I need the exploration token. The number 2 for in here. So let's see what we get. We get 1 gate and an encounter. Okay, and the gate is straight ahead. Not that it makes a big difference. It's just an encounter, so it's unlikely we are going to do anything in here. Oh, and it's a clue icon that lets us push back the crimson hand that is in this side, working towards this relic. All right, so an encounter. So do we also have a crimson hand encounter? We do. All right, so we have a Swamps of Gargano encounter and then a crimson hand encounter. Alright, so the Gargano encounter is a boneyard. The area stretches out into a murky lake filled with the massive bones of long dead creatures. As you pass through, you keep an eye open for anything of value devoured long ago by one of these beasts. When successful scavenging here, they can draw an extra scavenge card and then choose one to discard, which would be nice. Can be scavenged up to 5 times. While there are any heroes on this map tile, the hold back to darkness roll is -1. So that sucks. Nothing useful there. You know how I don't scavenge very much, which is fine. We are actually sorry. Gates. I forgot gates. There are no gates in the interior. It is just a doorway. But I think we'll just run back there. And then the Crimson Hand encounter is Runaway. So, hearing a scurrying in the dark corner of the room, you charge into the shadows and drag a teenage girl into the light. No! She shouts, squirming and kicking. I'm not joining your cult. I want to go home. One hero make a cunning 5+ test. If successful, you convince the girl that you are here to help, and she agrees to come with you. Take this card. If failed, she runs off making noise, and you can get attacked. While the girl's with you, at the start of every fight, roll a d6 without grit. On the roll of 1, she was working with them all along. Discard, and all heroes are -1 of their defense rolls for the first turn of the fight. May discard it in town to give all heroes in the posse +2 sanity. That is permanent sanity. Ooh, this is a cool card. And we do have this lucky hat to reroll any 1 die, which ignores the no grit. So that is probably a great use for that. But we do need to make the cunning 5+ test. So Doc, convince her. Convince her. Oh, he easily convinces her that we are the good guys and that she should come with us. Perfect. Nice. So we have the runaway with us. We need to rescue her. That was 2. We just need the third one. You know, it would be nice to get all 3, but we could call it short, and you know, because we risk. You know, well, it's just at the start of every fight, so that's not necessarily too horrible and too bad a chances. All right, so let's hold back the darkness. A 7 will fail. So which side moves? 1, 2, 3. This side moves again. All right. Bechamel moving. She gets a 5. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Pete is going to move 4. So he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Doc. You know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why waste a turn? Let's go ahead. Oh, you guys, it's almost off what you're seeing. 6. Let's go ahead. It's still almost, still almost off what you guys were looking at. 6. All right, there we go. That's better. And then let's look through, and we find a swampy trail. Okay. Boom. Get a token. And that was everybody, right? So it is time to reveal, and we get that 2 exits and 2 encounters. So do we have a third encounter that is a Crimson Hand encounter? We do not, so we get 2 Jargano encounters. So the first is a carnivorous brain flies. A swarm of vicious insects descend from the floral canopy to feed. Everybody makes a cunning 4+ test. For every 4+ rolled, gain 10 experience. For each die that did not roll 4+, take 2 wounds with no defense. So I don't know if it's better to to roll cunning, or you know, more dice for cunning or not. We have 5 dice for Bechamel, 4+. So she succeeds on 3, so she fails on 2. So that is going to be 4 wounds. Okay. Doc, with his crazy 6 cunning, since they like the brain, he only succeeds on 2 of them. He's gonna... So we're spending a grit 2, 4, 6, 8. He does get armor, so it's no defense. But that is armor, so he does have armor. So let's let him. He's just going to roll the 8 armor saves from the helmet. Blocks 2, so he's going to take 6 wounds because we are pretty well healed up at this point. 2. All right, and then Pete with his 3 cunning, the dumb guy of the bunch. He takes 2 wounds. Boom. All right. And that does succeed in getting us the second ancient relic. Score. Oh, sorry. I need to finish the other encounter. We also have gruesome totems. The entire area is filled with stone-carved totems, hideous faces of monsters and serpents. One hero makes a lore 5+ test. If successful, you recognize this as a burial ground and search for any offerings. Each hero can draw a loot card. If fail, we are attacked. Alright, so who's got the best lore? I think that is Doc. Doc has a lore of 3. Is that it? Yeah, Doc has a lore of 3, and I think Bechamel has a lore of 3. Yeah, because she's got her ancient coin. So, Doc or Bechamel? It doesn't really matter. Bechamel is actually maxed out on grit, so we're going to have Bechamel roll it. So, lore of 5+, she succeeds. Doesn't even need that. So, each hero gets a loot card, plus, I guess amongst the burial grounds is the ancient relic. So, everybody gets a loot card. Woohoo! Free loot is what we need. Alright, so Bechamel gets a d6 times 50. Ooh, boo-hoo! Just 50. Alright, Doc gets a poor D6 times 25. Apparently this has been pretty picked over. Jeez, that's another 50. And then Pete gets 50. This, they totally, yeah, this is a pretty, this is a pretty crappy graveyard. That was some crappy loot. But it was free. It was free. We can't, I guess we can't argue with that. It could have been, you know, could have been much worse. All right, let's hold back the darkness. So we're good. We just need to do that third one. So holding back the darkness, a 10 is good. So Bechamel will move. She's got a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's kind of move this back a little bit in, more in camera for you guys. Pete is going to move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Doc is going to move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Holding back the darkness again. Double threes. Double threes won't work, will they? So double threes in Jargano is creeping darkness. Move the darkness 2 steps forward on the darkness track. Well, you know what? I think I am going to use... Where is it? Where is it? There's something that says prevent the track from moving, right? We can cancel Growing Dread or reroll a hold back the darkness. Cancel redraw a darkness card. Ah, yeah, the Void Ring. Once per adventure, prevent the darkness from moving on the depth track. So we will use that right now to prevent that. I don't care. We will go ahead and use that. Alright, so Bechamel rolling to move. She can move 4, so she will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Pete can move 3, so 1, doesn't really matter, 2, 3, and then Doc gets a big 1, which gets him a grant. You know what? He's going to spend that to roll an additional die in the box. Would be nice. So 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. It doesn't really matter. A little bit more out of his way. All right, let's clear off some of this. We are done. D-U-N. I know, that's not really how it's spelled. We are done with Jargano. Interesting to see what the other world card is. All right, let's hold back the darkness here. Oops, might as well shift this over a smidge. Double 5s. Double 5s in the mines is a terrifying shriek. Each hero immediately takes a d6 horror hits. You know what? If I've been forgetting to roll the extra horror for the Void Lantern, my bad. I just realized that because that reminded me. All right, so d6 on Bechamel. So she takes 3. She blocks 1, so she takes 2. D6 on Doc. He takes 4. He fails 1. He does have Spirit Armor, which he fails, so he's going to take 1 point of sanity damage. Okay, D6 on Pete is 2. He fails once. He takes 1 point of sanity damage. Alright. And then, sorry, the Void Lantern. So 1 horror hit on Bechamel, which he blocks. 1 horror hit on Pete, which he fails. Oh, Pete has Spirit Armor. Forgot I got something else that had Spirit Armor. It is a 5+, so that failed as well. Or actually, did I give that Spirit Armor to... Oh, I gave the Spirit Armor to Pete instead of Doc. That was odd. Doc probably should have it. Which I will give it to him after we do this Void Lantern roll. So he takes a d6. So he takes an extra 5. But he blocks all but one, so he's going to take 1 point of standing damage. All right, so let's get that spirit armor back to Doc because of that. Unless we want Pete to have it, but I don't think Doc's got the 3+ willpower save, so we'll be good. All right, Bechamel to move. She gets 3. 1, 2, 3. That is enough to look through. And what world is it? Oh, it is Cinder. So nothing too out of the ordinary other than the fact that it is actually Cinder that we don't go into a lot. Let me zoom out just a smidge here so we can make sure that we can kind of see what's going on. All right, so hold on. Let's see what we have in Cinder. All right, and the room is the lava lake. So hold on. All right. We go, 1 lava lake. So as a reminder for Cinders, one of the reasons I don't particularly, not a big fan of Cinder. Alright, so intense heat. So at the start of hero's activation, they take 1 hit for every clothing item they currently have equipped, but heroes are +1 max grit. So clothing items, let's see who has clothing items. We've got bandana for Pete and the cavalry boots. Okay, well, the bandana we can just take off. He doesn't care too much about escape tests, so we won't worry about that during at all. The cavalry boots, obviously, with a +1 move, he's going to keep those as much as he can. Doc has boots as well, but anytime he rolls a 6 for move, he can heal 2 sanity. Keep forgetting that. In fact, he's gonna not wear those. Well, he does have the helmet, which we will need. He's gonna have that in combat, obviously. What else do we have? That is, he has the robes, which will again be combat only, and his personal items only count as personal. All right. And then Bechamel has the lucky hat. She won't wear that unless it's necessary. So basically, yeah. So she's only going to wear that on a turn where we could potentially start a fight. So you know what? She's pretty much always going to wear that, just in case we roll something that triggers a fight. So she's going to be taking hits every turn. She does have her Badlands adventure gear, which and the belt. Well, she's not over encumbered, so she's not going to wear the belt nor the adventure gear unless I specifically need to wear that. So she just has the hat, and I'm keeping that on because I don't want to lose the runaway. And it is at the start of every fight. Actually, I guess theoretically she could. That's still the start of the turn, right? You start a fight. So I guess she can, at the start of the turn, which is the start of the first turn of the fight, she can put it on, choose that. So she's going to keep that off. Again, basically all the clothing is off. There are a couple things on a fight that people will put back on. The important thing is going to be Pete does not get the extra +1 move because he's going to keep his boots off. Yeah, I mean, you take a hit. I mean, he's got a decent amount of health. Nah, there's no point in dealing with it. All right, that was Bechamel. So Pete can move. He is wearing them this turn because he's not in there yet. So he will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Doc can move a big number, and he will go ahead and just move in. And let's see what we get. We have 2 exits, which there are 2 exits, and an ambush attack. Okay, so what are we attacked by? Are we attacked by Crimson Hand? We are, in fact, attacked by Crimson Hand. So how many Crimson Hand are we attacked by? We are attacked by 7 Crimson Hand. And they are in ambush, which means they are +2. We do need to see what their elite ability is, which is a 3, which is the Blessing of Sobat Kur. Okay, which is, they are tough, so they are immune to critical hits. And then they get an artifact. They are, I guess we're technically in technically we're in the Caverns of Cinder, so they get a Cinder artifact. Doesn't specify a mine artifact, just says an artifact for this enemy group, which will be a Shadow Sword. Once per turn, add extra damage to one of your combat hits equal to the number of corruption points you currently have. Anytime you kill an enemy with a combat hit, you take a corruption hit. That sucks. There is 650. It is worth 650. Not necessarily something that we're going to want to keep, but it's certainly worth selling. However, they are +1 health for every full 100, so they are a 6, +6 health because of that. So they are 9 health now. So they are toughness 3, but or endurance 3. So it's going to take 3 hits to kill each one. All right, but we had 7, right? So we know there's gonna be 2 on each person. So 2. Well, we're not gonna get 2 on each person because of the way that we're set up here. So we know Doc gets 2. So does this guy go after Pete or Bechamel? And he goes after Bechamel. So yeah. So we'll do that, and then there's 1 here on each of them. And then there's 2 extra. So we'll put 1 back here, and we'll put 1 over here. Okay. We do have to check. So it's the start of the turn. We're putting on all our clothing. We do have to roll for the runaway. So she is fine. She is not going to be working with the Crimson Hand. Seems like that would be the perfect opportunity for her if she needs to. Although it could be maybe she's biding her time for the final relic. Alright, so we do need to, however, take a hit for each piece of equipment. Bechamel has the hat on. She can take it off next turn. So she fails, so she's going to take a wound. Doc. Does Doc even have any clothing? You know, I don't need the extra combat for Doc. Actually, Doc, yeah, Doc's adjacent to 3. I don't think he needs... Well, actually, you know what? He might. So he's actually going to have the Crimson Hand robes on, because he's going to get +1 combat for every wounds he has. So it's going to be +3 more combat. So he's going to wear that. So he does take 1, and he's going to wear his helmet. That's 2. So he blocks 1. He does get armor, and that blocks it. And then Pete does not have any. He's going to keep his boots off. No need to have the boots on. Oh, actually, technically they're not in Cinder, are they? They are outside of Cinder. Only Doc is in Cinder right now. Okay. So let's hold back the darkness. Double 4s. Well, that just beats all. Alright, so double fours are Fires of Cinder. Each hero in Cinder takes D3 burning markers and 1 corruption point, ignoring willpower. So, Doc is burned for 3. So, as a reminder, that burning markers are over time. Basically, you take 2 wounds, ignoring defense, and then remove a marker each turn. So 2 wounds for each marker. No, you just take 2 wounds. As long as you have burning markers. Burning markers just give you time, the duration. Ignores defense, does not ignore armor, however. So, but that is what happens. And they are in ambush, so they are initiative 5. So Bechamel does get to go first. Alright, so Bechamel rolls to move. And she's fine there, so she's going to go ahead and shoot. Okay, and she gets her free reroll, which misses. Alright, so she gets 1 hit, which will do, it is a critical, so, they ignore that. She does get +1 damage, so that is enough to do 3 wounds to one of the ones that is adjacent to her, and it does get a stun marker. Alright. Alright, let's do some shooty. There are 7, so we do have 2 on each. So we'll get 2 on Bechamel. So 1 hit. Bechamel manages to dodge. 2 on Doc. They both miss. And then 2 on Pete. 1 hit. And Pete does not dodge. That is going to be 5 wounds for Pete. And then who gets the extra will be Pete. And that is a hit. Pete fails to dodge. That's going to be another 5 wounds on Pete. Alright. Alright, so so they get to go. So 2 dice. We have 2 on Bechamel, only 1 melee on Pete. So 2 dice on Bechamel. 4 dice, I should say. 2 per person. They hit on 5+. So 1 hit on Bechamel, and she dodges. Okay. On Doc, 1 hit. Jeez. In the box though. Doc dodges. And then 1 guy on Pete. There's 1 hit, and Pete dodges as well. Okay. Is now on to Doc. Yep. So Doc. So Doc's got a total of 8, 9, 10, 11 dice. Getting on 4s in the box would be nice. Okay. That's not very good. You get 2 criticals. Alright, so he'll spend 1 of his grits to reroll all these. That's better. A little bit, anyway. Oh, they're immune to criticals anyway, so it doesn't really matter if they're criticals or not. He'll start with this guy that's adjacent to him. We're going to need at least three hits. They are 2 defense. Doc is +1, so I'm -1 on each die. So -1 on each die, so that is a 3. That ends up being a 3 because 3 is the maximum. And this ends up being a 2. So unfortunate, 6, 7, 8 is not quite enough to kill him. So let's roll an additional die, and that is enough to kill him. So does Doc gain a grit? He does not. And then he's going to spend these other 4 on one of the other ones that are adjacent to him. Just put them all there. We were -1 on each die, right? So there's a 3, there is a 2, so 5, and 1 is 6. So we got 6 wounds on him. Alright, and then Pete. So Pete takes the corruption hit for using the trench pistol, which he fails. So that is going to be another corruption point. Some shots out. And again, some pretty horrible shooting. He will spend his 1 grit to re-roll all of these. Alright, much better. Anyway, 5 hits. Alright, he's going to hit the one that Bechamel did. So we got the trench pistol first. Remember, they are +1. He is -1, so we are actually even up on these hits. Okay, that's going to be 3, 6. And 3 is 7, 8, 9, and that is enough to kill this guy. Nice. And we'll say we have to remember to lasso one of these 2 back guys next turn. Okay. Then he has 3 dice, which he's going to put on. He has to do it on the one that's adjacent to him there. We are -2. So that is a 3. This is -2, and that is a 3. And then this would normally be a 2. He will take the 3 wounds to do an extra 2 damage, which still caps out at 3, but it still makes the 3, 6, 9, and lets him kill that guy. Perfect. Okay, hold back the darkness. An 8 is good. Alright, Doc has to take 1 hit for wearing his helmet. He fails. Does he armor? Armor does not block it, so that's going to give him 1 more wound. Okay, Bechamel gets to go. So movement, she's fine. She will not going to move. Roll to hit. Okay, there's 2 hits. So she will put 1 on each of them. So the one on the left is going to be 2 plus 1. Minus 2 is 1. So it does 1 wound. And puts the stun marker on him. And then we'll hit him. That sucks. That will bounce. Because that does not get the +1 because it wasn't a 6 or higher. Alright, that was her turn. Doc might as well go. Again, he's got 8, 9, 10, 11. Can only reach 2 guys unless he wants to move into the lava. Alright, so let me remind myself how the lava works. Because he can move through guys, so it actually might be worthwhile for him to move through and into the lava. So what does the lava do? The lava space markers. Where are we for lava? Lava spaces. Alright. There's a glowing yellow border and a dodge number in the corner. When a hero enters a lava space, they must roll a d6 to attempt to safely navigate that space. So it's an agility test equal to or greater than the dodge number. So that is a 5+ to move there. And his agility is a measly, well, it's actually not bad. It is a 3. But for a 5+, it's probably not worth the risk. He does take I do have to remember he does take 2 points of damage, which his armor blocks 1. And then he removes a burning marker. I had to remember that. Alright. Yeah, he's just going to smack those 2 guys. That's pretty good. He is not going to spend a grit. He does get 2 free rerolls, though. Which does hit 2 more times. Perfect. Alright, so we're going to roll 4 dice. Sorry, we'll roll... He's at what? 5, 6, 7? So he only needs 2 more wounds. So we're going to roll 1 at a time against him. We are even up, actually, right? So 2 or better will kill him. Good. Alright. And then the rest of these dice will all go against that other guy. This is damage, so that is going to be plenty to take him out. Alright. And Pete's going to go ahead and lasso one of them because he has a chance to get a grit, and he does. When he lassos, and we'll go ahead and I guess we'll lasso this one. Okay. And then we do what? And then Pete shoots. You know, yeah, he'll shoot the Tridern pistol. Did we have another pistol? I can't remember. I think we sold it. So yeah. We don't have anything else. Yeah. Alright, so corruption hit. He does not save, so that will give him another corruption point. Okay. Blah again. Okay, well, he'll spend his grit to re-roll these. Much better. Well, a little bit better anyway. Alright. So we're going to do the 2 Triderns and one of these on the guy who's been lassoed. Actually, no. Actually, we'll just roll them. We'll roll them all on the one that has not been lassoed. Actually, we'll go ahead and save 2. We'll just roll the 3. But we are doing it on the one that's has not been lassoed, just in case I get a good roll, which I don't quite, because we are going to be -1. Remember, we're +1, but he's got a 2 defense. So that will be, and we don't have the directional bullet, so that's going to be 2. And then 4, and then this is going to be, and this is going to be -2, and that is going to be the 3 damage. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we'll roll 1 more on him. That will do nothing, but he will take the 3 wounds to kill him, to do the 2 extra wounds, and that leaves us with 1 die left at the one who's been back there. So that will be -1 to that die, so that is 2 wounds on him. Alright, then he gets to go and shoot. He gets to try to break free from the lasso. So we get a strength test, 5+, succeeds, so we still have him roped. Then he will shoot, and he misses, and he cannot melee. So, hold back the darkness. A 9 is good. Alright. Bechamel moves. She's actually going to stay. Actually, she will, because Pete can't move through anybody. But this could finish it. So we're going to actually, she's going to move the 1 space. She can still see. She can still shoot. So there's an 8 and a 2. So she gets her reroll. A 3 will not cut it. Should I use a fortune? You know what? She's going to use a fortune. 5 dice. We want 2 successes if we can get it. Whoa, she way got it. She way got it. All right, so that will increase us up. Actually increases up by 3, which actually puts it up to a 6, which actually even gives it the +1 damage. Cool. All right, so they're both +1 damage, so we're even up. That is a 4 and a 3, so that's going to be a 3 and a 3. That's going to be 6 wounds. Not quite enough to kill him, because he's at 8. Curses. You know what? Pete'll just shoot. Yeah. We'll let Doc get the recovery. So Pete's going to shoot. He's only going to use the the Fallen Gunfighter's pistol. 1 hit. Should be all we need. Unless he rolls a 1. Although he is -1, so okay. We're at 5, 6, 7, 8 actually, so he can take the 3 wounds again. The Fallen Gunfighter's pistol, 3 more wounds. It is awfully painful there to do that. But Doc will do it, and that will kill. That is enough to kill him. Boom. Phew. All right. Catch your breath. So Doc gets to Bechamel. Excuse me. Gets 3 back. All right. Doc gets a D6, so he will heal himself for 6. All right. Pete gets 2. Okay. We'll go ahead and Doc will use a bandage on Pete to heal 5, 6. He'll use another bandage to heal Pete for 8. Cool. And that puts Pete down to 5 wounds. Pete was like at 20 wounds, so of his 22. With that last bit. Okay, and then we get loot. Bechamel gets a measly 25. Doc gets a D3 Darkstone. So 3 though. And then Pete gets a gear card. Alright, so let's see what that gear card is. Is it going to be something useful? It is an Iron Cross. +1 combat. When attacking demons, undead, and ghosts, when attacking you, demons, undead, ghosts are -1 on other hit rolls. A roll of 6 still triggers abilities. Heck, you know, Doc is still holy, so you can get an extra. He can take that and get an extra. Oh, it is a one-handed item. Sorry, never mind. We don't care. It is sell for $3.25. Is basically what we're saying. I was like, wait a minute. It's for some reason I looked at it and I was like, it doesn't cost anything, or you know, it doesn't have any weight. It's just an item that just gives him a bonus. But no, it is an actual one-handed item. All right, hold back the darkness. Let's see if we can see if we can squeeze through this. Double 6s. All right. Well, Bechamel is maxed on grit, so she will take the D6, and she heals 6, so that gets rid of her 4 wounds and her 2 sanity, and she is full up. Doc will take the grit. Pete will take the grit. Perfect. Alright, Bechamel is moving a 3. So 1, 2, there's a lava space. So agility of 3, it is a 3+. So 3. Pete is rolling to move. He'll actually put his boots on for this particular move. This turn. He's technically not in the other world, so that's fine. So he gets to move 6, so you can go 1, 2, 3. And he has an agility of 2. 3 plus is a fail. Bechamel will use a fortune to let him re-roll one of those, and that is good. 4, 5, 6. And we will look through and find the Pit of Torment. Okay. 1 Pit of Torment. Right there. And exploration token. And then Doc gets to move a total of 3. 1, 2, 3. We do have to roll. And he's good. We do have to remember he does take basically 2. I think I forgot last turn. He does take 2 burning, so his armor saves fail, which will be 2 wounds. And then he's got another second, basically his 3rd burning, and both armor saves fail that as well. So his burning is now gone. So Pete was the last one to go. So what's in this exploration token? There is a single exit, and it is an encounter. So the exit is in direction straight ahead. So we can close those off. This is closer. Do we go through the lava though to get to it? Where we can avoid lava, kind of going this way. Do we have an additional, we'll have to see. Do we have an additional encounter? We do have an additional encounter. So we have 1 Caverns of Cinder encounter and 1 Crimson Hand encounter. So the Cinder is venting steam. Guys, there's a steam shoot up from cracks in the crust all across the uneven floor of this rocky chamber. At the start of each turn, every hero on this map tile must make a luck 4+ test. If failed, that hero takes D3 wounds, ignoring defense, as they are burned by the powerful jet. And it remains in play. Alright, so I think we are going to risk the 4+ lava rather than spending a couple turns crossing this steam room. And then we find some shackled prisoners in here. Up ahead you hear the clanking of chains and whimpering. 3 scraggly looking prisoners sit on a bench here, chained together and to the floor. Help! Help me! One of them shouts as he sees you. Another chimes in. It's not in me, it's in him! It's in him! Motioning to one of the others. Liar! We all know it's in you. There are 3 prisoners. The heroes may set any number of them free, 1 at a time. For each prisoner set free, roll a d6. Grit cannot be used. On a 3+, every hero gains 20 experience and can draw a loot. On a 1 or 2, however, that prisoner then explodes in a shower of tentacles and gore, killing all remaining prisoners. Ambush attack 1 Goliath. Otherwise, draw an epic threat. Alright, I am not going to... yeah, grit can't be used on this. So you know what? I'm sorry, guys. No. We are not going to risk that. You guys can stay in there, especially since, you know, there's a whole bunch of scalding steam that somehow is not killing you, even though it does lots of damage. And you are not epic heroes like we are. So let us hold back the darkness. Double 4s again. So again, double 4s. Now this is every hero in Cinder gets a corruption point, which is dangerous for Pete since he's now up to 4. You know, I'm wondering if we should just, well, because like he now cannot use his Tridarian Trench Pistol unless he risks getting a mutation. You know what? I'm not that interested. Oh, we forgot to roll to see if we get the Shadow Sword. We do. We get the Shadow Sword, so that's something else we can sell. All right. I think you know what? We did 2 of them. I think we're gonna flee. I think we're gonna leave for now. I don't want to risk getting a mutation on Pete. 5 corruption is nasty enough. You know, granted, we can try to get rid of it, but I like to avoid that. You know, in general, none of these characters particularly want mutations. I mean, Doc's already got a tail, which is useful. So I haven't, and we didn't have any money, so we haven't gotten rid of it. This episode is running pretty long as it is, although we did only have 1 more room left to go. But I'm just too leery of Pete, and, you know, and I know I probably shouldn't be that scared of mutations, but I just don't like them. You know, even though we only have 1 more room, we do have to like run through lava and all that, and you know, we might have another fight. I said this is running pretty long, so you know what? We're gonna the better part of Valor. Actually, no, it does count as us losing them, doesn't it? If we flee. Right, because the Crimson Hand has not gotten. All right, I guess we need to keep going. I was going to say I was flee, but you know, failing means we're going to take corruption hits anyway. So no, all right, we're going to push on. That was that. So Bechamel rolls to move. She gets a 3. All right, so she's going to run across the lava space. She does get a 4+. It is a 4+, so she's going to go 1, 2. We're going to look through, and what do we find? We find an icon platform. And this, I apologize, this did get kind of out of the way for you a little bit, way up here. There, you guys can see a bit better. Okay. So Pete can move 4. Actually, I guess these are actually diagonal. I guess we don't actually have to move through. All right, and then Doc, we'll just step forward like that. All right, what do we got? We have. Whew. All right, we have 2 encounters. And do we have a? We do have an encounter. So we need to survive the encounter over here. All right, map cards are getting all mixed in. Hold on for a minute. All right, we've got searing heat. The temperature is unbearable. It takes a massive effort not to simply collapse under the oppressive heat. All heroes on this map tile are reduced to max grit 1. Okay. Second one is crumbling crust. The crust beneath your feet begins to give way as you step across the ashen floor, revealing a flow of molten magma below. Anytime a hero moves out of a non-lava space on this map tile, roll a d6. On a 1 or 2, place a lava 5+ marker. Okay? Well, good. We don't actually have to move. Alright, and then Watcher in the dark. There's something not right here. The dark shadows on the far end of the room seem to be moving and twisting. What madness is this? Everybody makes a lore 5+ test. If any hero fails the test, attack. Add D3 tentacles to the fight for each hero that failed the test. These tentacles have double their health. If no heroes failed the test instead, move the darkness D3 spaces back on the depth track. Okay. Lore 5+ tests. Alright, we start with Bechamel. She has 3. She succeeds. Now we do, remember, we do have a max grit of 1, so we lose a little bit of grit. But she succeeds. Okay. Doc has a lore of 3. 5+. Ooh, he will spend his grit to re-roll that. He succeeds. Pete has a lore of 3. And he succeeds. All right. So there we go. I don't remember where did I put that card. Oh yeah, here it is. All right, so but we no need to move the darkness back. We didn't have to deal with that. Awesome sauce. Perfect. All right, so we got the third relic, and we have succeeded. I was worrying for nothing there at the end there. I apologize. All right, not too bad. Not too bad. We moved along at a pretty good clip. Gotten pretty good at that, obviously, and this is a pretty solid team with a number of dice. We do have to do something about Pete's Tredarn pistol. So I think that's going to be the first thing that needs to go. Is we need to get rid of that trench pistol. There's just too much corruption coming from that at this point. We need to get a new pistol for him. But thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it as always. Please leave a like. Please subscribe if you haven't. I certainly, both of those make a huge difference to me, and make me feel good that people are enjoying the series. I do apologize for the lateness of last week's episode and everything. So, the half episode that was going to come up as well. Thanks again. Down in the description is a link to my Patreon page. There are a few videos there for patrons only that have been posted. So, if you're interested, go look at that. It would be great. If you, would like to, donate your valuable money to support me, but certainly appreciated but not required. I just having people watch and subscribe and like the videos on YouTube itself is just extremely nice. So, thanks for watching. Next episode for Town, we're gonna we're gonna turn in the Runaway for some extra sanity. We've got an artifact coming because we got all 3 relics, and so it should be good. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next week. Bye.